everyone. Welcome to the Heartbeat of Bartlett. This is a podcast series that is put together by the Bartlett Area Chamber of Commerce and proudly sponsored by First South Financial. My name is Maria McLendon. I am Chief Marketing Officer for First South Financial, and it is absolutely my honor and privilege to be able to host this wonderful program. The reason we put this program on is because it is designed to showcase the small business community of Bartlett, because the small business community is the heartbeat of any community. But today's episode is extra special. We're going to call it the Art Beat of Bartlett, because we're going to showcase the arts today, some of the wonderful arts programming that we have in the Bartlett community, because very much the art scene is the heartbeat of it. It is also the heartbeat of a community. You're right. My wonderful co-host today is John Threadgill, President of the Bartlett Area Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you.
And we have two awesome guests today from the amazing art community in Bartlett. We've got Michael Bollinger from the Bartlett Performing Arts Center. Mm-hmm. And we've got Nikkie Parker Dunnewold, who is president of the Bartlett Arts Council. I'm going to turn it over to John to introduce himself, and then we'll ask our wonderful guests to introduce themselves.
You just introduced me.
I just said your name and title.
John Threadgill, president of the Bartlett Area Chamber of Commerce.
That's it?
Oh, sorry. And I'm Michael Bollinger, the artistic director of the Bartlett Performing Arts Center. And I'm in the middle of my 8th year, and the center just finished its 25th season last week.
Wonderful. Well, I am Nikkie Parker Dunnewold, and I am the president of the Bartlett Arts Council. I represent the Bartlett Community Concert Band, and I've been a part of that organization for about 12 years now, and just love it and love being here.
Thank you both for being here. So everyone was very brief in their introduction. There was not a lot of background provided. But Michael, you have an illustrious history in the performing arts. Will you tell us a little bit
I'm
more?
happy you introduced me. He wouldn't have used that word. You know?
That word.
I've been a director, artistic director, producer of theaters my entire career, since 1 month after I got out of college. And I have run theaters in the state of Missouri, the oldest professional regional theater in the state of Missouri. And it was like Playhouse on the Square. It was nothing but theater. Mm-hmm. And then after 20 years, I moved to the Hampton Roads area and to Virginia Beach and opened up a 63,000 square foot performing arts center. And then from there, I was headhunted to go up to the New York City area to run something called the South Orange Performing Arts Center. I did great work there. Every place I've been, the attendance has grown, and we've started new programs. But I honestly didn't like living in northern New Jersey. I just didn't. So then I moved to Charlottesville, Virginia, to run the Louisa Arts Center. And in December of 2016, I was hired to become the new director at BPAC. And so I moved to, I call this the land of Elvis. Yeah. And I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful. And Nikkie, you were very brief in introducing yourself as well. So can you tell us your connection to the arts community and a little bit about the Bartlett Arts Council and all of the different things that fall under its umbrella?
Well, my connection to the arts community is very simple. I'm a native Memphian, and I have been an arts educator for 24 years in the public schools.
Right.
And I joined the Bartlett Community Concert Band in 2012. I'm a clarinet player and have been a clarinet player since 8th grade, so just a native Memphian. Wow. And just proud to be a product of our local school system here in Memphis, and Memphis area. And I joined the board about maybe 8 years ago, and then after that became the Bartlett Arts Council president in October of last year. And I've had that role for 2 years. So all of our organizations together, 4 of us total. There's the Bartlett Community Concert Band. Then there's also the Bartlett Area Chorus. So that's where our music comes in. Then we have the Bartlett Art Association, where we have our visual art and art shows. And then the Historical Society. So we have 4 groups total altogether that make up the Bartlett Arts Council.
That's great.
And obviously, these two guests are why we're calling this show the Art Beat of Bartlett.
Thank you. That's great.
So Bartlett is the 11th largest city in Tennessee. So it's not a small town, but it's rare that you find such a robust collection of support for the arts in smaller suburban communities. You find them they're prevalent in the major cities, but
Right.
it's rare to find something so much in the suburban areas. So, Michael, can you talk to us a little bit about all of the things that happen at the Bartlett Performing Arts Center?
Sure, and the nickname is called BPAC, so I'll start calling it that. But
And that's a good point, because I missed one of the C's. It's the Bartlett Performing Arts and Conference Center. Is that
and
correct?
honestly, I don't use the conference part much because we're really the arts center.
Yeah.
But the theater, the meeting rooms, the studio are all available for functions and meetings, and we have a lot of rentals all year round. So it is used very much for that. But as far as the arts side, the nice thing is it's kind of diverse. We really do have something for everyone. Like we have in the summer youth theater camps for kids like age kindergarten to 12th grade. Like actually today I just left a rehearsal for Gulliver's Travels, and they'll have a performance on Friday. We also produce our own live theater, I mean full scale, like Playhouse on the Square with sets and everything. We can talk about that later. We have Music by the Lake, which is our outdoor concert series. We just had one. They're mainly in May and June. We just had one last Friday, and I would say were you there?
No.
I put him on the spot. Well, I think we probably had 1,500 people there.
Oh, wow.
No, it was really, I was so pleased. And the band was almost famous. We have a different band every time. But
That's their name.
That's their name.
that really is their name. that really is their name. And usually I bring in 2 different bands every night. But the reason I brought in one was, they're a little more expensive. But the other thing, though, is they're what I call, and I'm going to get in trouble for this, but true working musicians. That's all they do is music. Like they get called into Nashville to do a lot of session work or play on a lot of albums and, go on tour. Like the drummer for like 15 years used to tour with Hank Williams Jr. back in his wild days. At any rate, they're really great. And then we have a full-blown performing arts series, sort of like GPAC, only we're a little bit smaller. They have 830 seats. We have 350. Now, the neat thing about this 350 is, John's been there, even if you're in the back row, there's not a bad seat. There aren't any pillars, nothing in your way. Since I've been there, we put in all new lights, we put in all new sounds. So it's like these people, and some are Grammy and CMA and Dove Award winners, it's like they're performing in your living room. It's just a great space. And then when it comes to our performing arts, and like I said, the whole theater and the other rooms are available for rent if you want to do something yourself. But with the performing arts series, we try to have diversity there. Like, for instance, in this year's, this is just a tease sheet. Our season brochure is getting laid out right now. But like this year includes 2 live theatrical productions, full scale. A Bright Star, which is sort of a bluegrassy kind of musical. And the music was written by the comedian Steve Martin.
Oh.
He actually plays banjo, and then in March we have a musical by Stephen Swartz. Among other musicals, he's the guy that wrote Wicked, like the biggest musical ever written, And it is. It's based on the first 2 chapters of the Bible, but of course, it's set period, but sort of with modern music and a modern take. And that'll be our youth theater production, kids 6th grade to 12th grade. And people have to audition for these, and once they're cast, they rehearse 2 months, and then they do the performances. We also have youth productions for families, like I love the name of this one. Cat Kid Club, the musical. But we have shows like that are great for families to make memories at. And then when it comes to our concerts, we try to have something for everyone, Should I touch upon some of those, or come back to that in a little while?
We'll come back to that in a minute, because I've got a couple of additional questions for you specific to the theater experience.
That's great.
But I want to make sure we address Nikkie as well.
Please.
As a lifelong Memphian,
Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit about what makes the art scene so special in the Bartlett community?
Well, it's a lot like what Michael touched on about how there's something for everyone. I feel like with us, we have something that reaches all age groups. We have things for children, programming for kids such as Chalk the Walk, and they have an opportunity to be expressive through art for our elementary through high school age children. Then there's other programming through either music groups. If you sing or play an instrument, there's something for you either in the Bartlett area chorus or you can be in the Bartlett Community Concert Band. And then there's also the Historical Society, where they have lots of exhibits of different things at the museum where you can come and see. It's something for all families to enjoy. And then the Bartlett Community Concert Band is a part of a family series concert that we have every year at BPAC, which anyone can come to and come and enjoy. It's usually a themed concert of some kind. Like this year's concert was called the Concert of Themes. So there's going to be some sort of a theme to that concert. So it's always something for everyone. I think it's just a way for us to build the community of Bartlett and just be there as a united front to build the community.
It's really fabulous when you have programming that is available for everyone to enjoy, that families can enjoy together, because as I was saying earlier, first of all, an appreciation for the arts is rare.
Right. And
then access to the arts is rare.
Right.
And especially in the environment that we've been in for the past many decades, where when funding is an issue, which is always an issue, the first thing to be cut is arts programming. Right. But it's so important because it affects so much of how people develop.
Yeah, and of course, obviously I would say this, but which I think is sad, whether it's in Bartlett or anywhere, because look back at like older cultures, the Romans, the Greeks. Well, we don't talk about like who won the football team or who won the Olympics. We talk in history, maybe about the battles and stuff, but you look at their art, you look at their culture. You look, in the 17th century, you look at their music and at their paintings. It's the arts that live on and represent that community, So I'm so pleased that now this is actually owned by the city of Bartlett. I mean, I'm paid to be the director of it, but they help support us and keep the building going and all of that. And I just think that that's really makes a community special because, they've got a great sports scene over there. My buddy Paul Wright, but not everybody wants to play sports, or maybe they want to do both, be in a play and play sports. The other thing about BPAC is you would think some people think, oh, it's just for people in Bartlett. Well, it really isn't. I'm very proud that I feel that now in every audience, maybe 60% are from Bartlett, but in every single audience, we have people from every single community in the Mid-South.
Yep.
And maybe going over in Arkansas a little and down in Mississippi a little. And even occasionally, if it's a Grammy or CMA artist that people know, I've had people like drive in from Kansas City for the show, or drive in from Houston for the show, or drive in from, New Orleans for the show. And I don't think a lot of people know that. And I think that speaks really highly of the work we're doing. And also I think it's good for Bartlett because every time a new person from a new community comes in for Chalk the Walk or one of your concerts or something, they're also, maybe they spend money at a restaurant. Maybe they go, wow, this would be a great place to live. Because once again, not everybody digs the sports part, or you dig both. But I'm just saying, it's unusual because every community does not have a performing arts center. Yeah.
So I absolutely love musical theater. It emotionally connects with me.
Right.
And what I love about performances that I've seen at BPAC is what you were saying, is that it really does feel like every performance is unique first and foremost. Like you'll never see the same performance twice. So I've always felt like when you're watching a live performance, they're doing it just for you. It's a special gift that you're getting. And then when you get to watch it in an intimate setting like BPAC, it's that much more special.
That is a great observation because whether it's a concert or whether it's a play, but let's say you go see a play that has, or a musical that has 5 or 6 performances, or on Broadway that's running for 5 or 6 years, right? I'm always struck, even if it's Broadway, how, I'm sitting in the audience with 1,000 of my other best friends, right? but so out of the world, the only people experiencing that evening, that performance, those emotions, are 1,000 out of the whole world. And
it's
even
just
though,
for you.
Yeah,
it's this special gift
right.
just for you.
And even though it's the same music and everything, since it's live, I guarantee you it's basically the same. But there's something that's a little different in every performance because maybe somebody, messes up on their dance step or somebody forgets a line. Now they're professional enough that you shouldn't notice it, but it does make it different. But I totally agree with what you just said. Yeah.
We're going to give the audience an opportunity. We're going to tell them where they can view the full 24-25 season and how they can get tickets to individual shows or the season. Before camera started rolling, I was chatting with Michael and I asked him if he could pick out a few of his favorites, and he said that he couldn't. That would be unfair. So I'm going to ask you this instead. We just talked about how performances are so special. They're a unique gift. Can you talk about a couple of memories that you have that are standouts of amazing performances that you've had to experience?
I really have been, most of my career had been live theater, creating live theater. And I always like that because you're really creating something from scratch. Maybe not the play, but you're creating it from scratch. But now with the Grammy and CMA, I've presented so many Grammy, CMA, Dove Award winners, that it's kind of cool, not cool, it is cool to present these people that you looked up to your whole life, and here they are walking into my theater, and they go, hey, you want to have some chicken with me? That'd be great, But I'll mention just a couple from this season. How's that,
Sure.
And all I was saying is I'm real bad, like, what's your favorite? Other than color, I can tell you it's purple. I didn't wear that today, But just real quickly, a couple that I might mention is but this will give you the diversity. If you like Frank Sinatra, I mean, New York, New York, My Way, Fly Me to the Moon. There's this guy named Brian Dupre that does an evening with Frank Sinatra in November, and he's not exactly trying to do Sinatra, but he's doing Sinatra.
Okay.
I mean, that's him there. And so you would you'll dig it. Because, see, if you close your eyes, you'll think it's all blue eyes.
He sounds like Sinatra?
Huh?
He sounds like Sinatra?
Well, yeah, there's no point in bringing somebody in. I do about 3 or 4 tribute acts a year, but the only point is if they say that they're going to be doing Sinatra or whoever it is, I got one in October that's Bob Seger. Well, but what's the point? It just makes you look bad.
Well, yeah.
We're doing Bob Seger, but they sound like Mick Jagger or whatever. I mean, but that wouldn't be bad, would it? But you know what I'm saying. But no, but I look for, when we're doing the tributes, I look for them first that are good musicians, and second, if I close my eyes, that's him.
Really?
That's him. So he's going to be great. There's this up and coming group called Chapel Heart. Have you guys ever heard of them? They're these 3 wonderful, wonderful musicians, singers, black singers. And the only reason I'm mentioning that is they do country music, which that's kind of unusual, and they're from a small town in Mississippi, and by the same name. And at any rate, they've been on America's Got Talent, and then the America's Got Talent Super League or something like that. And then they were on the Grand Ole Opry several times. And these ladies, they're probably, don't tell them I said this, 2 are sisters and one's a cousin. But they're probably range from late 20s to maybe early 30s. I had them last year, and I'm just telling you what, they will blow you away. You remember when there was I'm pointing at him because he's
older.
Older, yeah. That was, I was trying to think of a word to say. But remember there when you could get Memorex tape?
Yes.
And they had this guy sitting in his seat with sunglasses listening to music, and his tie, though, would go back because the music was blowing it back, right? Well, it's sort of like that. They've got voices that will blow you away. And they sold out last year. I mean, they're really going to go somewhere. I mean, they're on their way up. And after the show last year, I said to him, again, he got killer standing ovation. And after the show last year, I said to him, to one of them, Tia, I said, wow, that was great. Would you ever consider doing a holiday show? And she goes, oh my God, we're cutting our first Christmas CD this July. So they're coming back this November 22nd and 23rd for 2 performances. And I predict, and it won't be all holiday music. It'll be their regular music too. So, and then I'll just mention 2 other. Do you know who John McEwen is? I'm looking at the old guy.
Yeah.
Okay, John McEwen is the founder of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. And he'll be here also in November, and then I'll jump way after the first of the year, and I'll stop. Comedy with Harry Cho. But Sandy Patty is a gospel singer, but more new age music, But like 20, 30 years ago, when she started, she was simply known as The Voice. But she won like 40 Dove Awards and like 6 Grammy Awards and all of these. And anyway, I had her here the year before COVID, and I thought I'd bring her back. And so, if you want to be, just blown away with a voice, that would be one to see. And you could find our whole season online at bpac.org. And tickets go on sale to my returning subscribers on the 8th of July, but to everybody like July the 21st or something, And
this season includes all of these performances?
Well, we got a special thing. No, because how would you, because I got like 20-something
I know, that's why I was asking, yeah.
Because it's different than going I'm going to be a subscriber to the basketball team. Well, you're going to see a basketball team, right? Mm-hmm. Well, with us, because there's jazz, there may be bluegrass, there may be country, there may be rock like Seeger. So what ours is buy 5 or more shows, any that you want. The only thing is they have to be 5 different shows. Mm-hmm. But remember, they go, I can't do that. Well, the season's from October through April, so you probably can. That's not even one a month. But you get 25% off, which is almost like seeing 2 shows free. And you can keep upping it. Some people buy 10 or 15 shows. And the other thing is, say you buy 5 and you go later, I really want to go see that Chapel Hart. Well, just tell them you're a subscriber, and they'll still give you the 25%. So it's a decent deal. And if you haven't tried it, once again, I think it's so great that the city, and I hope everybody realizes it in the city, but that they have their own arts center. Because I guarantee you there are cities all around the country that would love to have their own performing arts center or their own art gallery or whatever, And Bartlett has one. And that's what makes it even more unusual than if it didn't have one at all.
Yeah.
So that's it. And give it a shot. But my guess is if I can get somebody there just one time, they're going to go, wow, that was really cool. I'm going to come back, Now, I better be quiet so this nice young lady can talk.
I wanted to ask Nikki if she has a favorite memory of an art or performing art experience memory that she wants to share.
Well, I've been with the Bartlett Community Concert Band about 12 years now, and I've got a lot of wonderful memories. But I will say that recently, though, just a few months ago, we played at the Collierville Festival, the Collierville Fair on the Square. And we played some of our music from our themed concert at BPAC this spring. And one of them was a little piece called The Symphony of Sitcoms. And we loved that piece. And so I was walking back to my car that afternoon, and a gentleman said, were you with the band that just played? And I said, yes, sir. And so he was like, wow, I just absolutely loved your performance. I just was brought back to my childhood hearing all of those themes from those TV shows I grew up watching. I played trombone, several years ago. I would love to come and join you guys sometime. And I'm thinking this is wonderful because now we've got ways to connect to everyone so we can, use it as a way to recruit people and to, to boost membership. So it was super exciting to be able to say, hey, that he really just loved that piece. And then also the fact that he wanted to come and join us and check us out sometime. So I've had many, such as like when we had our Veterans Day concerts, and we've had families come up and say, thank you so much for honoring our veterans and for coming to play at our cemeteries and and honoring our families, and it's just so wonderful to be able to know that we can do something so wonderful as play simple Americana music and American music that reaches so many people. So
and many of your concerts, if they're in Bartlett, they're actually in the center.
Yes.
We partner with them, and
Yes, exactly.
and they have like usually 60 or 65 members on stage at once. It's pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Amazingly, we are at the end of the program.
Oh, no.
I know. So, Nikki, please tell our audience how they can find out more about the Bartlett Arts Council. And once again, if you could repeat the 4 organizations that fall under the Arts Council umbrella.
Yes, absolutely. We have 4 organizations under the umbrella, and that's the Bartlett Community Concert Band. We have the Bartlett Art Association. We have the Bartlett Area Chorus and the Historical Society. Those are 4 organizations within that umbrella, and you can learn about all 4 of our organizations through our website, Bartlett TN Arts Council at Weebly.com. Again, that is the Bartlett TN Arts Council.weebly.com. We also have a Facebook page as well, so you can use either one to learn more about each organization, and those there are links provided to take you to each individual organization's website, so that way you can learn more about each group if you're interested in joining or if you want to donate or support anyway. So come check us out, and we hope to see some of you all at our performances and at our events.
And they do just great work.
Nikki, I've got a question.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Play any Glenn Miller?
Do I play any Glenn Miller? No, but I love to listen.
Well, like the clarinet, so
yes, I do.
That
Yes.
was his instrument, was it?
Yes, it was. It was. I'm classically trained, however, so I have not really had the experience to really play a lot of jazz, but I love to listen to it, and hopefully one day I'll get a chance to experience a little bit and be able to kind of dabble in that some. So hopefully one day. That's my next project.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right, Michael, tell everyone how they can find out more about BPAC and where they can go to view the season and purchase their tickets.
Well, we're on all the different social media platforms, but really the best would just be to go to our website, bpacc.org, and up in the upper left you got a menu and click coming soon, and the entire 20 event season. And when I say 20 event, it's actually more performances, because some of the concerts are 2 performances, some of the plays are 4 performances, but that's different titles, but they're all there. You can read about them in detail. And then starting, if you've never been there before, starting the 2 Mondays after July 4th, you can buy your tickets online. And the neat thing about that is you can actually pick your own seats. Now, you can also come in and talk to a humanoid life form in my box office. But if you don't want to, then just when you get up in the morning, put on the weekend, get some coffee and pick your seats and do it. And once again, if you're going to buy 3 tickets, go in and do the buy 5 or more shows, because by the time you get the 25 discounts, you're already almost there, but you get 2 more shows. At any rate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you get, sharing is caring, so you can share. If you can't make it to those 2 shows, you can, of course, share them with your friends and family.
You're right, because what a lot of my our audience members do is they pay it forward.
Yeah.
Play it forward. They go, I got to be out of town. My daughter invited me to something, but I gave it to my next door neighbor. So don't let it go to waste. Just give it to somebody else so they can be introduced to the center, and then maybe next year they'll come back. Yeah.
Well, Nikki and Michael, thank you both so much for being on the Heartbeat of Bartlett today. We're calling it the Artbeat of Bartlett.
I love it.
The community of Bartlett is actually so lucky to have such a rich and robust art scene inside of it, and
Absolutely.
everyone should check out both BPAC and the Bartlett Arts Council and get involved, whether it's to attend a show or whether it's to participate in one of the 4 organizations of the Art Council. There's just so much culture to be had.
There he is.
And thank you for inviting me, and thank you for being patient with me.
You know what? It's excellent to have passionate people who are so excited to talk about what they love. So
Michael did good tonight.
yeah, very good. Thank you, everyone, for watching The Heartbeat of Bartlett. You can find this wonderful podcast everywhere that you find podcasts. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and all of the other places as well. Make sure you find us, you watch the show, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Share it with your friends, because sharing is caring. Thank you to the Bartlett Area Chamber of Commerce for putting this wonderful show on.
Thank you for sponsoring.
It is the pleasure and privilege of First South Financial to sponsor this concert series. It's not a concert series, this podcast series. We love it. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, V2 Media, this awesome production crew that makes this podcast possible. We appreciate you. Bye, everyone.
See y'all.